Well, hello everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight we are talking about the case of Michael Joseph Vaughn, affectionately known to the ones who love him as Monkey. He has been missing since July 27th, 2021. Since then, there's been no sighting of where Michael Joseph Vaughn is, but there has been four suspects named. One of them is in preliminary court right now, and the breaking news is that it will go to trial. Thank God. There's a lot to catch up on this. Tonight we're going to be talking about evil personified, Stacy Wondra, who is in court, and a lot to hold onto and talk about. It's going to get graphic on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's the twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my clothes, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
In the clutch, better tighten the pearls. Drop the cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is March 5th, 2026. It is currently 7:56 p.m. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. So sorry about that. Tonight we are talking about the case of Michael Joseph Vaughn, affectionately known as Monkey. And there is updates in this case. It's been going on a long time. And trial is going ahead with Stacy Wondra. I'll be quite honest with you. The trial has been, or the preliminary trial to see if it would go to normal trial has been going on the last 3 or 4 days now. And I have put it off, to be quite honest with you. This case is very near and dear to my heart. I'm friends with, Brandy and Tyler, Michael's parents. Hold on. Just give me I don't equally. Okay. I am going to hold it together. Just give me a second. And what they have tried to destroy this family is horrible. Absolutely horrible. The good news is Stacy Wondra is going to be going to trial. And that's important. And we're going to catch up on all of that. If you remember, my dear friend Samantha, who is from Missing PNW Crimes Revisited, she mainly does the Pacific Northwest. That's the PNW part. She is there in Idaho right now with Brandy and Tyler and the family, and has been in that courtroom every day. And I just want to thank her truly, because she has just been a freaking warrior for this case. And we do a lot of lives together on Michael, and we're hopefully going to be doing one really soon. And I'm hell or high water, I'm going to be there when this goes to trial. We don't have a trial date because Stacy has the choice to plead innocent or guilty with, Michael Vaughn case, right? The last live that Samantha and I did from PNW, we read the probable cause document, and it was way worse than I think we could have imagined. What they put Michael through for absolutely no reason whatsoever. 5 years old. 5 years old. And for money or being sick or whatever the hell it is. Allegedly putting him in the back of a truck in a duffel bag. Can you imagine being a kid? Some strangers come up to you, kidnap you, put you in a house, and then stuff you in a duffel bag in the back of a I can't remember if it was an SUV or a truck, and then pretty much drive you, a long way away. And then you're in some weird house with a bunch of strangers. Absolutely horrific. Thank you so much, Roxy. Thank you for keeping us updated on these cases. Thank you, baby. Appreciate your support, truly. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. So this is going to be triggering. I just want we're going to go over the 3 days of what's been going on this trial and get you guys all caught up. I want to say that I've had Stacy Wondra on my show before. He has been on my program. Josh and I have interviewed him from the lab. This is a very close case to Josh as well. Brandy, Michael Vaughn's mother, she was very, very ill for a long time. And she, with her liver, she's got a new liver. And I am so thankful to God that she is doing amazing. She looks like the old Brandy. She looks so good. And I am so incredibly just proud of her. For those of you that don't know, I did a FOIA couple years ago, probably now. And I knew that Stacy Wondra had been in a jail fight. And Stacy is the type of buffoon that will only pick on somebody that isn't his isn't his size, so to speak. Whether that's a child or that is a an adult with special needs or whatever. Stacy hit this guy in prison, one of his cellmates. 1 second. And I went to FOIA that, and I got a little bit more than I had asked for, which I was shocked. And it was the interview of Stacy Wondra admitting where he saw Michael's body, where he said Michael's body was, which was in the back of his old home. And that is when they started digging it up. Sarah Wondra said, "Oh my God, there's." She blamed Stacy for doing this and said the Lord just told her and all that. And when I got that, I freaked out, number one. And I told Brandy about it. And I can't imagine being a mother and hearing that and what she's had to hear the last few days as well, I'm sure, and what she will really have to hear in trial. But we sat on that for over a year or so, and one day she puts it out. 1 second. One day she puts it out, and I thought I was hacked or something. But after that, she put it out and gave Samantha permission to put it out. The ball kind of started rolling finally. that's kind of when Brandy was like, okay, enough. We gotta get on with it. And it's time to find Michael. Okay. So without further ado, let's get it started. I'm gonna watch some video of what's going on in court here. Why can I not hear this? Give me a second. I hope that's not the problem here. One second. Oh no. What is going on, man? Guys, I'm so sorry. My other camera wasn't working a second ago. And so I used my other camera, but now the sound is off. Let me see here. Okay, I got it. I fixed it. Okay, we fixed it. I can't believe I fixed it that quick. It's usually a lot longer than that. Guys, I'm frozen. Perfect. Great. Make sure you please hit that thumbs up button if you're just joining us. Would greatly appreciate that. Well, Sarah is in custody. One of is Stacy's ex-wife. Now, Stacy has been charged and it will go to trial. You can see Stacy and Sarah in little photos right there. And you can't hear me? Can you hear me? You should be able to hear me. Okay, you can hear me now? Okay. Okay, perfect. All right, here we go.
We all can get distracted when we drive.
1 second, we have a commercial. I know, Trish. I know this. I want to help you guys as much as I can. This was part of the video that we had of Stacy. I don't have anything else to fork up.
Stacy Wondra, the man accused of kidnapping and killing 5-year-old Michael Vaughn, back in court today as part of his preliminary hearing. Today, videos of interviews with police being shown to the courtroom. Stacy Wondra discusses his story of what happened the night Michael went missing, conversations he had with his wife, Sarah Wondra, and even a plan with police to try and get her to confess to the crime. A probable cause affidavit describes statements from Stacy Wondra alleging what they had done with Michael's body and a specific location in their backyard where they claim his body is buried. In addition to Wondra's statements, the affidavit states cell phone activity and surveillance videos place both Stacy and Sarah Wondra in.
And I just want to tell my friend, in this video, you see right here, Chris McDonough from the interview room. Want to thank him so much on this case. He and JP, they've been rock stars on this case. That is Chris McDonough from the interview room. So make sure you guys sub up to Chris as well. This is the thing. A lot of people say, well, Stacy never admitted to doing this to, Michael. This is what he said. I mean, play the video. He said that him and that he watched the Michael. He saw them burying him in the backyard. Stacy's phone and everything is there. They have so much discovery with this case. In my opinion, it would be best if Stacy knows, because Samantha and I've talked about this. I've talked about this with you guys with this. So Stacy's not a very bright guy. Okay. He was in jail because his wife, Sarah, put him in jail because he's a felon and he shouldn't have a weapon. Well, Stacy, in my opinion, wanted to get back at his wife, and he told about Michael, tried to exclude himself from it, even though he was there. Cell phones and everything proves that. And it was like a revenge thing. He was trying to get back at his wife. Well, you put me in jail, I'm going to put your ass in jail. That's what he thought. And he ultimately did. But there's also two other men involved in this case, Adrian Lucien and Brandon Shirtliff, whom, they're all just kind of transients that was living in Sarah's mother's home.
In the area during the time of Michael's disappearance. Detectives are still getting tips about what happened to Michael, but they have yet to find his body. If you have any information on where Michael may be, call Fruitland Police or Crime Stoppers. You can see both those numbers here on your screen.
So prosecutors, what they were doing, they were trying to show that there was enough evidence that the case could move to trial. And magistrate judge, sorry, I got my windows open. Brian Lee was presiding over the multi-day hearing. The court heard from Michael's mother, Brandy, which we'll get to that here in a minute, and also Tyler Vaughn. They tried to, his attorneys tried to sling mud at Tyler and all that. A California sheriff's deputy also testified about deploying canine bloodhounds shortly after Michael went missing. According to the testimony, the dog tracked Michael's scent from the area he disappeared to the Wanderer's home in Fruitland, Idaho, just blocks away. Much of the afternoon focused on human remains detection dogs used during searches of the Wondra property in November of 2022. Julie Gibson, a retired cadaver dog handler who trained dogs from 1984 to 2012, testified she assisted Fruitland police during the searches of 1102 Red Wing Street in Fruitland at a separate address on Snowbell in Kuna, which would be Brandon Shirtliff's mother's home, where Michael's remains were. Gibson told the courts her Jack Russell Terrier, Yodi, is trained to detect the scent of human remains and give specific trained final responses. She testified that Yodi gave the response along a fence line in the Wondra backyard. In her opinion, the dog was alerting to residual human remains scent in the location. Gibson also testified that Yodi had located a body in separate cases. Another handler, Deborah Hurlbert, testified she searched the same Red Wing property in November 13, 2022 with her human remain detection dog. And the dog also alerted it in a general area near the back corner of the fence line. Despite those alerts and extensive excavations, Michael's remains were never recovered in that yard or on that property. Michael Vaughn was only 5 years old when he was abducted in July of 2021. And according to documents, Stacy Wondra told investigators that the members of the household were involved in Michael's abduction and death. The probable cause affidavit alleges his mouth was duct taped and he was placed in a duffel bag and transported in a GMC pickup truck. Investigators said that they believe Michael was once buried on the Wondra property and later moved. Stacy Wondra is charged with first-degree unaliving, second-degree kidnapping, and destruction and concealment of evidence. He is currently the only person charged in the case related to Michael's death and disappearance. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's get to this right here. Make sure this is the right one. Okay. All right. Let me pull this up. Oops. Here we go.
Of young Fruitland boy Michael Vaughn. Neighborhood reporter Riley Shoemaker joins us live from the courthouse.
Yeah, Donna, a little over an hour ago, they wrapped up testimony, but it was a long day of testimony in the case against Stacy Wondra, the man charged with kidnapping and killing Fruitland boy Michael Vaughn in 2021. Now, we're still here at the Fayette County Courthouse where Michael's parents took the stand while facing their son's accused killer face to face.
They're arrogant and they're dumb criminals. And they think that they're going to get.
Look at Brandy. Look at Brandy. Oh my God. I am so happy. She looks freaking amazing. Am I still frozen? Am I still frozen? Let me do it like this. 1 second. She looks, yeah. Guys, let me tell you something. Brandy has, I have seen this woman just about at death's door. Very, 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 very sick. And she was so skinny. She was so sick. She was having to have fluid drained off of her every other day in the hospital more than she wasn't. So glad.
Away with this, and they're not.
Brandy Vaughn, mother of 5-year-old missing Fruitland boy Michael Monkey Vaughn, finally takes the stand almost 5 years after her son was last seen alive. She and her husband Tyler were the first two witnesses called in Stacy Wondra's preliminary hearing that could take the rest of the week, laying out the timeline for that July evening when Michael went missing. As we reported, Tyler was the one who called 911 on that July night after a frantic call to his wife.
And it's been a long time, but I can still feel it. I can still hear it. I can smell it that night, that day. I wasn't even really looking at time.
During cross-examination, the defense questioned Tyler's use of marijuana while he was home with the kids.
During this period of time, during the day, were you smoking marijuana? Yes.
Tyler testified he did smoke a joint, but
the prosecutors were, of course, going after him for smoking a joint at the time, earlier in the day. So what? I mean, I don't use marijuana or anything like that. It's just not for me. But that's not going to, make you to where you can't, move or anything like that. He was ordering pizza and changing a diaper. So it's trust me, alcohol's way worse than that.
Between the time he saw Michael alive around 6:15 and when he noticed he was gone around 7 p.m. But Brandy said she never had concerns about his smoking and said it was always kept hidden away and out of reach. In court, we also heard from 3 professional canine handlers who were called to assist in the investigation. One led detectives to Stacy Wondra's home while following a scent from Michael Vaughn's shoe. 2 others were called to the scene in 2022 when the backyard was excavated, giving
This is when they were excavating the backyard looking for Michael. This is the exact house on Red Wing Street that Stacy and them lived at.
Seen in 2022 when the backyard was excavated, giving positive alerts to the scent of human remains.
He very much pulled me to that property. Residual scent, the dog will alert on residual scent.
Yeah,
And that's
crazy
what was
wacky.
happening on that day.
We also heard from an officer who worked at the jail where Stacy served time on unrelated charges and found a letter in Stacy's belongings addressed to the Vaughn family and signed by Stacy. The contents of the letter were not shared in court.
Now the court
Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that. I did not know that Stacy had written a letter to the Vaughns that they found in his cell. We don't know what's on it, apparently, but very interesting.
has scheduled off the rest of the week for this preliminary hearing, but the state is expected to call one of their key witnesses tomorrow. It's going to start out right at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we are going to have live updates throughout the day on our website, idahonews6.com, as well as in all our shows. So stay with us here on Idaho News 6. Reporting from the Payette County Courthouse, I'm neighborhood reporter Riley Shoemaker, Idaho News 6.
Well,
Thanks, Riley.
the Mary Jane, it just makes me have anxiety. So
Charges in this case were a long time coming. Tonight, it's team coverage as executive reporter Karen Laird joins us with more of the backstory on how we got here.
Now, this is a case that Idaho News 6 has been following closely for you for years. I'm executive reporter Karen Laird outside the Payette County Courthouse, and I was in Fruitland in 2022 when police completely excavated the backyard of Stacy Wondra's home in their search for Michael Vaughn's body. As we reported at the time, police told us that tip came from someone who lived inside the home, and we later showed you those jailhouse interviews where Stacy Wondra was seen.
this is the one that I released. Obviously, it's got my name across, the channel's name across it, that the media is using. And if I'd have known that, I would have given a one just without my name.
Talking to law enforcement and directing them exactly where in his backyard to find Michael Vaughn's body. He lived at the home at the time of Michael's disappearance with his then wife, Sarah, and 2 other individuals.
These are the 4 suspects: Sarah Wondra, Stacy Wondra, Adrian Lucien, and Brandon Shirtliff.
Who police at the time named all 4 people as suspects in Michael Vaughn's disappearance. Stacy's wife, Sarah, was charged with failing to report Michael's death, but after a body was never found, those charges were eventually dropped and Sarah was released.
Michael's remains were in the back of this yard somewhere, and he was moved because Sarah knew that she put Stacy in jail, and so she moved them. Also, right across this, right beside here, they are RSOs as well.
And Sarah was released. As we've reported, Stacy Wondra is the only person currently charged in connection with Michael Vaughn's disappearance and death as this case now moves forward. We'll continue to keep you updated online on idahonews6.com. Reporting outside the Payette County Courthouse, I'm executive reporter Karen Laird for Idaho News 6.
He is the absolute human version of swine, if I've ever seen it in my life. He is the absolute version of human swine. Just a very disgusting human being. He's all about making a quick buck. I was always trying little different schemes and businesses and all of that. After Josh and I did an interview with him here, he sent me an invoice from Cash App and said I needed to pay him $100. Yeah, he sent me a bill. Yeah. And I told him to go get bent. And he cussed me in every name that you could possibly think of. And I was like, dude, you're the one who said you wanted to clear your name. I'm not. No.
For Michael Vaughn's parents, nearly 5 years after their son went missing, they faced their son's suspected killer in court today. Stacy Wondra is charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, destruction of evidence, and a persistent violator charge as well in connection to the little boy's death. Our Morgan Romero was in court all day long. Take a look.
Stacy Wondra's preliminary hearing lasted all day here at the Payette County Courthouse. Prosecutors called 9 witnesses to the stand, and the defense was able to cross-examine them and ask their own questions. This preliminary hearing this week effectively acts as a mini trial, where the prosecution is arguing there's probable cause to move these charges along to district court and go to trial. In opening statements, Payette County Prosecutor Mike Duke told the judge they'll present evidence showing how the criminal investigation led to Stacy and his ex-wife, Sarah Wondra. Duke said Wondra admitted to law enforcement Michael was abducted and buried in his backyard. The defense, meantime, argued Stacy didn't confess to anything. Michael's father, Tyler, was the first on the witness stand, followed by Michael's mother, Brandy. Outside the courthouse, she reflected on testifying in front of her son's suspected killer, saying it's not fair. They have to relive this again.
I have a lot of anger, and I still continue to have that because you sit there smiling and I know what you've said. It's disgusting. And I'm angry. I'm confident and
let me tell you something. Brandy has been a warrior for her son. She has been nonstop, even from her hospital bed. She has advocated for her child. Her name is Brandy Vaughn. She used to go by Brandy Neal. And it's just remarkable how she has been nonstop. She has even done interviews with a panel with Stacy Wondra. And just begged, "Where's my son? We want him back. We just want him back."
our testimonies and how Mike Duke is going through the process, laying the foundation of that day.
Do you think we'll ever know where Michael is?
I'm never going to stop. One way or another, I'll find a way. Somebody's going to say something.
Mm-hmm.
They're arrogant and they're dumb criminals. And they think that they're going to get away with this. And they're not.
A scent-trailing dog handler testified his dog tracked to the Wandra's home using a scent from Michael's shoe.
Of course.
Then 2 cadaver dog handlers said their dogs alerted to human remains in the Wandra's yard during a 2022 excavation. No body parts or blood were found, but handlers say the dogs responded to residual scent. A Washington County deputy testified about video calls between Fruitland PD and Wondra in jail, and a Thanksgiving letter that Wondra wrote to the Vaughns that the deputy was told not to send. The Wandra's former neighbor testified he spotted an unfamiliar tricycle at their home. Another witness said he found it over a bluff days after Michael went missing and left it at the subdivision entrance, where an Idaho State Police captain testified he later came across it. Wondra's preliminary hearing is expected to last the entire week, with the prosecutor telling me they have many more witnesses to call. I will be in the courtroom, so stay posted on KTVB and KTVB.com for live updates. Back to you.
She's been amazing.
Today's show represents.
She's been absolutely amazing with this. Let me show you some more interesting things here that's going on. Thankfully, the decision was made that they do believe they have all that they need for this to go to trial. Look at this, where
5 years after 5-year-old Michael Vaughn vanished from his front yard, the man accused of killing him faced a judge again today. Stacy Wondra returned to a Payette County courtroom for the third and final day of his preliminary hearing today. The judge just returned to the courtroom and decided to send the case to district court. He says prosecutors presented sufficient probable cause. The prosecution wrapped up its evidence this afternoon and presented closing arguments. The defense made their case, saying the prosecution is guessing what happened to Michael and that they didn't prove probable cause to send the case to district court. Take a listen.
They took every effort imaginable to try to hide from this crime, and they were very good at it, frankly, but not perfect.
It surpasses reason to think that a little boy was kidnapped and died and buried, and they didn't find anything. But at the end of the day, what Detective Kelleher thinks, what the state thinks, it doesn't matter. It's what they can prove.
Wondra faces charges of first-degree murder, kidnapping, destruction of evidence, and persistent violator in the death of Vaughan, the Fruitland boy known to his friend.
Also, Stacy Wondra tried to sue Payette County, Fruitland, Idaho, claiming that he was innocent and that it, wasn't taken to trial. He tried to do that. He also filed to sue several of us YouTubers in a lawsuit, myself included, Josh from the lab, all of that. It was so poorly, and he wanted the state to pay for it as well. He uses he doesn't even use Josh's real name. He uses just like my channel name. It was so poorly written. You remember that? So bad. It's like, please, we'll get you in a deposition, you dummy. Let's go.
Friends and family is Monkey, who disappeared in July of 2021. The prosecution amended their complaint this afternoon, removing premeditation from the murder charge. And this morning, a video call between Wondra and his mom was shown while
Listen to this.
Police
This is his
detective was
mom
on the stand. In that call, Wondra is crying and telling his mom he's sorry, saying he wouldn't have gotten involved in any of this if not for his then wife, Sarah. Wondra's mom tells him he needs to cooperate and tell the police the entire truth about what happened to Michael.
Baby, is Michael alive?
Sarah accidentally killed him.
How?
Suffocation. They buried him in a duffel bag.
How was that an accident?
She didn't realize there was too much clothes on top of him.
Why did she take him?
He was duct taped.
Now, during interviews with detectives shown yesterday in court, Wondra points the finger at Sarah and his roommates, Adrian Lucien and Brandon Shurtleff, claiming they kidnapped Michael to sell him, accidentally suffocated him in the duffel bag, and then buried his body in their backyard. Wondra is actually the only one facing charges currently, though, for the kidnapping and murder of Michael Vaughn. Our Morgan Romero will have more from inside the courtroom today, coming up on the news at 6. But again, we have just heard the judge ruling that this case will move forward, will move now to district court.
So this law and crime was there, and it wasn't allowed to be recorded live or anything. However, they did. It's going to be up hopefully on Law and Crime pretty soon. The whole trial, and we'll be going over that as well. So yeah, he and I will say that I don't think this was Stacy's idea. I still don't think this is Stacy's idea of doing this to Michael. I think it was all Sarah's idea. She has long talked about kidnapping people in her past as well, and I think it was her, but I think they all bowed down to her.
Telling Michael I love him, and I'll see him later. And he asked me not to go. And I told him it was okay because I was going to be off. I had one more day of work and I was going to be off, and then we could go on our walks to the park. We frequented the splash pad a lot during the summer, spring, and summer. And anger. I'm angry. I am. I'm angry that people support these monsters. I don't understand it. Helen.
There are people that support Adrian and Stacy and all of them. There are a few.
Michael, I love him, and I'll see him later. Yeah.
Which is just completely insane to me, in my opinion. Yeah, just completely insane that this is happen. I need to close my window, I think, because it's getting a little too loud. Chief JD Huff, he is no longer the sheriff, not the sheriff, the chief rather there, and but he's still on this case. Ooh, this is brand new, brand spanking new. Okay, did I play this? 1 second. Oh, just came out. This literally 30 seconds ago came out. Let's see what this is. Nope, that's not it. Sorry. The next one. Is that one yet? Yes. Okay.
Stacy Wondra's murder and kidnapping case will move forward. Just a couple hours ago, the judge decided prosecutors did present enough probable cause to send the case up to district court. Wondra is the man accused of kidnapping and killing 5-year-old Michael "Monkey" Vaughn in Fruitland back in July of 2021. Morgan Romero was in court all week long for Wondra's preliminary hearing and brings us the latest.
Michael Vaughn's family says this is the best possible outcome for now. The prosecution wrapped up evidence and witness testimony this afternoon and then made closing arguments. Payette County Prosecutor Mike Duke says Wondra and the other 3 suspects who have not yet been charged took, quote, every effort imaginable to try to hide from this crime. The defense then made their case, saying the prosecution is, quote, guessing what happened to Michael, and they didn't prove Wondra is connected to this crime beyond his own statements. Wondra faces charges of first-degree murder, kidnapping, destruction of evidence, and persistent violator. The prosecution amended the complaint this afternoon, removing premeditation from that murder charge. Today was another emotional one for the family, as they had to listen to Wondra admit Michael was abducted.
It was hard to hear that he was screaming for me. It was hard to hear that that woman told my baby that I didn't love him anymore.
What a fucking bitch you are, Sarah.
There's special places for people like that. And I believe that's where they're going to go. Justice will be served.
Amen.
I made a promise to Monkey that I was never going to stop till I find him. It looks different now than when we started. But I still had that promise to keep.
This morning, a video call between Wondra and his mom from 2022 was shown while a Fruitland police detective was on the stand. In the call, Wondra is crying and his mom tells him he needs to cooperate with police. He admits Michael is not alive and that his then wife Sarah accidentally suffocated him when she duct taped him and put him in a duffel bag with clothes on top. Wondra points the finger at Sarah and his roommates Adrian Lucian and Brandon Shirtliff, claiming they initially kidnapped Michael to sell him, accidentally killed him, and buried his body in their backyard. Again, Wondra is the only one facing kidnapping and murder charges in the disappearance and death of Monkey. He is scheduled to appear in district court on April 15th at 10 a.m. We will, of course, continue to follow this case for you. Back to you.
Morgan posted live updates from the courtroom all today, all week, actually, and you can read those right now on our website at ktvb.com.
It's really bad. This is 18 minutes ago. What's this?
Baby, is Michael alive?
Sarah accidentally killed him. Suffocation. They buried him in the duffel bag.
I want to say that Stacy lied straight to my face and Josh's face when we asked, "Hey, Stacy, where's that duffel bag? Where's that duffel bag?" And Stacy said, "Oh, that duffel bag couldn't fit a kid." And I said, "Stacy, you would be surprised what a duffel bag can fit." They made up an excuse that they were towing a car and that Brandon went to his mom's house to wash his clothes, even though where Brandon was staying with Stacy and Sarah, they had a perfectly good washer and dryer in their home. Not only did they have a perfectly good washer and dryer, they had a washing service that they provided. And he said he got his duffel bag and put clothes in it and took it to his mom's house. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
And I was completely out of the loop with everything.
And the fact that you knew and you let his family suffer for so long, a long time, babe. Baby, is Michael alive?
She's absolutely right.
Sarah accidentally killed him.
I agree, Brandon.
Suffocation. They buried him in the duffel bag. And I was completely out of the loop with everything.
And the fact that you knew and you let his family suffer for so long, a long time, babe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Don Nelson. We begin with breaking news. A major development in the case of Stacy Wondra, the Payette County man accused in connection with the disappearance and death of 5-year-old Michael Vaughn. After 3 days of testimony, including hours of video evidence, witness accounts, and arguments from both sides, the judge has ruled there is probable cause for Wondra to stand trial on all 3 counts. He faces kidnapping, murder, and destruction of evidence. Neighborhood reporter Riley Shoemaker was inside the courtroom today as the court played a video.
How do you accidentally kidnap a kid, take him to your home, throw him in a duffel bag, throw him in the back of your truck in a duffel bag, duct tape his mouth, and he says throw clothes over him. I don't think they threw clothes over him. I think they duct taped him, put him in the duffel bag, and he was in the back of the truck. And he wasn't accidentally anything. I don't, it's really bad.
Video call between Wondra and his mother.
Dumb fucks.
Hey, Don. Yeah, it's been an emotional day here and really a long week as this preliminary hearing is played out at the Payette County Courthouse. And today, inside the courtroom, Michael Vaughn's family was there as they played a video where Stacy Wondra was speaking with his adopted mother. And she asked a question that many of us have been waiting years to have answered.
Baby, is Michael alive?
Sarah accidentally killed him. Suffocation. They buried him in the duffel bag. And I was completely out of the loop with everything.
And the fact that you knew and you let his family suffer for so long, a long time, babe.
In the call, Wondra claims his wife, Sarah, and one of his housemates were responsible, saying Michael was taken as a part of a plan to make money. The video was part of hours of testimony, including from a...
They were going to allegedly try to sell him for $10,000. Fucking evil.
Fruitland police detective who walked the court through the investigation. But during closing arguments, the defense said the state's case is built on speculation.
This is not guessing court. This is not hopeful court. This is not, we have a pretty good idea court.
Prosecutors argued Wondra's own statements and his actions after Michael was taken show he played a role in the crime.
That's the defense arguing for Stacy that oh, you don't got proof or anything. I'm going to tell you something. If I was on a jury and I seen the video that I FOIA'd and put out, and not only that, and saw his own mother say, after he says he doesn't have anything to do with it, but he says he knows what happened. He was with them. He says he was with them that night. They would, I can't see how a jury would not see that they were guilty. I can't see it.
His actions are consistent with being in the same joint enterprise as the people who are committing the other primaries, committing the actual kidnapping.
Judge Brian Lee ultimately agreed there was enough evidence for the case to move forward. After the ruling, Michael's mother, Brandy Vaughn, spoke outside the courthouse.
They've done their wrong. Now it's time to pay for it. They've done their damage. Give us back Michael Joe. Give us back Monkey. That's all we've asked for is from day one. And they sat all this time. I have no empathy for any of them. They deserve what's coming to them.
Vaughn says with no other arrests in the case, the process is far from over as her family continues waiting for answers.
Step one, with one of them, there's still 3 more to go.
Wondra is expected back in court for his arraignment on April 15th. And like I said, we have been here all week. I've been inside that courtroom giving full detailed breakdowns, and you can find all of those on idahonews6.com.
1 second. 1 second here. Idaho News 6.com. Brandy has even said the one that says where Michael is, she will ask them to be even more lenient with them. I mean, I believe they should get the death penalty, in my opinion. I think taxpayers paying for these people to live in a prison is, in my opinion, too kind. That's my opinion, though. So yeah, let's see here. Michael may have been, they believe Michael was transported in a vehicle. Keller said a piece of duct tape was collected from the area of the vehicle where investigators believe Michael may have been placed, but no fingerprints or direct connection to Michael was found on that duct tape. She also testified a cadaver dog alerted on the vehicle used by Stacy Wondra, though no evidence was recovered inside. Detective Keller clarified when she told Stacy Wondra she would be on his side 100%. She meant she would tell a judge he was the only one who helped investigators find Michael, not that he wouldn't face consequences. Defense attorney also pressed her on whether it was realistic for a child to be forced into a duffel bag, but Keller testified she believes Michael Vaughn was placed inside the bag based on statements from Wondra and the investigation. At one point, the detective indicated that Michael may have been drugged before he was put in the duffel bag. At 10:38 a.m., there was a cross-examination. It continued. Detective Juanita Keller referenced interviews with both Sarah and Stacy Wondra, noting Stacy had requested to speak with detectives from jail and claimed Sarah had also been abusive toward him. He also made that claim on my channel as well. Keller also reiterated that she found it suspicious that Wondra was seen, quote, testing his door handle, end quote, at the splash pad hours before Michael Vaughn disappeared. There is also mention of a Snapchat scam. Sarah Wondra and Adrian Lucien were allegedly cooking up to make money. In a conversation with Brandon Shurtleff, the detective says he described a duffel bag he owned and asked if she had, quote, found it yet. Yeah. They were hunting. I want to make this extraordinarily clear, in my opinion. They were hunting for children that day. It is apparent. They were out in town. All of them were out in town trying to hunt for a child. Stacy Wondra is at the splash pad. He says he was there to his snuff rolled over, and he's such a big guy. He said he couldn't get it, so he pulled over at the splash pad. A splash pad is in the neighborhood where Michael Vaughn and Stacy and them live, where there's like swings. It's a playground for kids, and he was there earlier that day, and he was checking his door handle. We just learned. Especially at the park across A&W restaurant. Yes. Thank you so much. It's me, Jen. Appreciate you so much, honey. Thank you for your support. You're very kind to me, Mama. Love you to pieces. Thank you so much, honey. Good to see you. appreciate you. It is abundantly clear that they were hunting children for a specific reason. Absolutely. We just learned that right now that they were scheming up a Snapchat scam. What did I tell you just a second ago? They were always trying to make a quick buck. Always trying to make a quick buck. Crazy. Okay. During cross-examination, detectives Juanita Keller testified this was the first child case she had worked in the area and described that the large search efforts that followed Michael Vaughn's disappearance, including professional search teams and canvassing roughly 300 homes. She also discussed surveillance showing Stacy Wondra white Lexus near the splash pad around 3:22 p.m. Michael was abducted around 6:40 to 7 p.m., by the way, saying that she found it unusual for an adult to stop a vehicle in the area where children were be known to playing. Now, tell me, I'm frozen. Tell me, why is there a man that doesn't have children at a splash pad pulling over? That's creepy. That's creepy. Very, very creepy. Let me do it like this. Okay. Testimony returned to Detective Juanita Keller, who said after the November 2022 interviews with Wondra, investigators obtained a search warrant and spent days digging in the Wondra's property with cadaver dogs, but never recovered Michael. She also testified Wondra told detectives phones and SIM cards used at the time were discarded because he didn't want to be found, and said roommate Brandon Shirtliff later reported Wondra called him saying that they needed to get their stories straight. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. They need to get their story straight, but which we knew in the probable cause affidavit that he said that they ditched their phones. They ditched their phones because they thought it wouldn't, it would help them not be found. Wondra's mother urged him to promise he was telling the truth, telling him withholding information would be the same as lying. Wondra said he was being honest. She told him it's not fair to Michael's family to keep them wondering. Detective details search of Wondra's property. His mother asked if detectives would find Michael where they had sent them, referring to the backyard Wondra previously described, and Wondra nodded yes. So Stacy thought allegedly that Michael was in the backyard because, again, the last place Stacy allegedly knew where Michael was, and he said this, and that's when he told, was Michael was in the backyard. But it wasn't. He had been in the backyard, and he also told his mother that Michael would be in it's the home is hers, in the backyard. But of course, Michael wasn't found in the backyard. There was anomalies in the yard that indicated that he was in the backyard, though. But Sarah or Brandon or Adrian or all three of them, excuse me, put him somewhere else, and we don't know where that is. But I do believe particularly Brandon knows, and Sarah. Wondra claimed Michael was taken, quote, to make money, end quote, while insisting he was, quote, completely out of the loop of everything. When his adopted mother asked why he didn't speak up, Wondra said, quote, I was scared to. He also claimed Michael was taken to Brandon Shirtliff's house and at one point asked, quote, and at one point, I guess, asked his mother, quote, am I going to die in prison? End quote. Yes. Yes, hopefully you will. I pray. Absolutely. Wondra told his adopted mother that he had told detectives where Michael Vaughn was and said they promised to, quote, fight for me, end quote. When she asked if Michael was alive, Wondra shook his head and said, shook his head no. Sarah accidentally unalived him. He also claimed Sarah Wondra and Adrienne Lucien brought Michael into the home while he was there. 9:32 a.m., a video of the jail call played in court. Prosecutors began playing a video of Stacy Wondra speaking with his adopted mother in custody. In the call, Wondra tells her that he told them everything about speaking with detectives. And at one point, his mother asked, be completely honest with them about everything, later telling him, you have to take responsibility for your part. Wondra responds, I'm sorry, I let you guys down. Court was underway as prosecutors continued testimony from Fruitland police detectives Jonica Keller. The state told the court if plans to publish one last exhibit, a 28-minute video, as testimony continues. Wow. Let me see here. Let's see here. Yeah, it's going to move to trial. Let me check something right here. Does anyone know if Law and Crime has put this out yet? They're supposed to put it out. Let me see if they put it out. I gotta hope that they get it out soon. If they don't, Law and Crime trials. I don't think that they have, but I just want to make sure. Ooh, hold on. They got something out here on Michael. Let me drop this. Here is Law and Crime Trials, guys. Y'all can sub up to it. Let me drop this in the description as well. Here we go. 1 second. We got to do this live or I'll forget. Law. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Give me 1 second here. Oops.
So what's going on tonight? I heard you want to speak with us.
Well, talk to my mom, you know, I guess she's like this light at the end of the tunnel, I guess. She seems to be the mayor of information, which is okay. My mom mentioned that you guys are trying to do a plea bargain or whatever, the same thing, yes. guys are all concerned over in exchange for help by Michael. Like, I don't, like, in the sense of helping to find Michael, I don't have any issue with going out and trying to help locate and search and, you know.
So he's talking about here that he, I guess this is when he was first admitting it, that he didn't have a problem to go help out and search. Well, that's the least he could do. Yeah, that's Chris McDonough from the interview room.
Like on that aspect, but I guess I kind of want to know.
Hey, Lana, good to see you,
You
honey.
just told my mom, you know, like, in what aspects? You know, like, I don't, you know, like I gave you guys pretty, you know, a pretty substantial amount of, you know, what I thought was decent info the last time, you know, I talked. You know, it's like, at this point, I don't really have any more to give other than I just want to know, like, when you tell my mom that you're willing to, you know, offer me some clear exchange my month, physically going out to try to look for him, helping with the search or whatever it may be, you know, or is it just, you know, feeding you guys information? Because I've given you guys what I know, you know, like I you know, what I thought was valuable information. But I don't have a problem at all with wanting to help with the search because I want to be able to have this.
Now, I want to be clear that he talks about in one of these videos that I put out that he saw Sarah and Brandon digging Michael's grave in the backyard. He was with them the entire time when Michael was transported to Brandon's house. He concealed, lied about it the entire time.
It's not fair to say that his mother is family, you know.
So, I don't think that sometimes it takes a little time for us to go over stories and stuff, especially things that happened to us and remember everything that's happened. And I don't think you've told us everything yet. And so I think there's probably still some more information that you could help us with. And it would depend on what you.
Yes, and I think they did help. They did take help from the Cold Case Foundation, ICU, and I believe that they need to do this on Summer's case as well. And I believe they need to do it on Sebastian's case. Although I think Sebastian's case will eventually be, I think they'll both eventually be solved. But I think that would help if they would ask the cold case.
You had as far as you found out.
Again, I gave you guys what I had. Like I told you guys last time, I don't have a problem with going and trying to help find this little boy. But as far as knowledge of his whereabouts or, where, I've given you guys where it could be. I've talked about, what I've seen with the duffel bag. That's literally like what I have. I want to have more so I can help find this little boy. But that's why I'm literally like, I want to do this eye test because I really think you guys, you know, I get, as you said, well, what if you fail? Are you still, you know, I'm not going to fail. That's what it's at. I know for a fact, and you know, however you guys want to see it, that's, you know, you guys are detectives, you guys do your thing, whatever, like, you know, I'm just a person who's trying to help find us the boy in any which way I can, just like I was doing on the house. I mean, I don't think you guys understand. I don't have what you're looking for. And I think once we do the eye test, you guys are gonna be like, well, you really wasn't lying. Like, and that's what I'm trying to make is like,
He's absolutely lying his ass off here. He is saying, I don't have what you guys need. Well, you know, when Adrian and Brandon and Sarah brought Michael into your home and duct taped him and put him in a duffel bag, and you all rode your asses to Brandon Shirtliff's house and did whatever you did to Michael, and then towed a car back, and then got to the home very late into the night. And then Brandon said that he and Sarah went out to look for Michael because the whole neighborhood was looking for Michael. And then your alarm was set very early in the morning to go back to Brandon's mom's house. I think you do. I think you do know a lot more.
you guys have your, you know, your due diligence and your job to do and whatnot. But I'm also telling you, as someone, you know, I've given you guys what I can, but I also know that there's a certain point beyond and above the, you know, you get stuck at a point where you don't have anything else to relay. And when I'm telling you I don't have anything else to relay, I don't have anything else to relay. It's not that I don't want to give it to you. It's not that I don't want to cooperate. I mean, for you guys down here, I wouldn't, you know, give you guys information, you know, of what I've recollected if I didn't want to cooperate, if I didn't want this little boy to be found. Just trust me, I want him to be found. Like, I have many, many nieces and nephews. I've got.
You want him to be found, and you said that he was in the back of the yard.
Friends that have got little boys, you know, little kids, and it's like to be labeled as that one person, which is what I'm being labeled as. I mean, that I'm sure as anybody else, you know, it puts.
Exactly. Second to no one. Stacy could have stopped what happened to Michael, but he was just as involved, in my opinion. They had made a plan and carried it out. He was actively looking for children all day. All day he was looking for children. Going around to these parks and these water pads, splash pads, and all of this. He was actively looking for a child. He's claimed he was scared of Sarah. I mean, Sarah is a scary old bitch. She is. Like, she's a cuckoo bird. And I still believe Sarah was the mastermind. I believe Stacy is the money hungry one, and Sarah is the schemer. And she was the mastermind of this.
Gives yourself a bad name, and that's why I want to go through and do with this whole eye test thing. I want to see what you guys are trying to offer, because I feel like once I complete the eye test and you guys see that he really hasn't lied to us. I mean, I really feel like with all the stuff that I've had to go through, like I still should be like negotiator give a deal to me because of the information I have related to you guys. Even though it's not, you guys think it's not everything I know, like what I've given you is what I've given you. But I still feel like being put, in this position when you're gonna find out that I'm not lying. That's what it's at. Like I would never. There's more things
Mother chicken, that was loud.
To mess with somebody else's life like that, like what's happened, is completely beyond anything.
We've not seen this ever. I haven't had phones on.
I mean, it's real that it's happened, but it's unreal to me that I'm having to sit here and face, yeah, you guys have, your.
It's unreal to you?
What about your investigation, your forensic stuff?
You know what's unreal is a mother. Hey, Frosty. Good to see you, hun. You know what's unreal is a mother and a father and siblings in a community of once just complete innocence. Listen, Fruitland, Idaho is the last place you're going to expect that some random people is going to abduct a child. Stranger abduction is extremely, extremely rare. Extremely rare. I don't really, can't really think of any stranger abductions that I've covered other than Michael Vaughn. It's so rare. And it just shows you how close, again, they were to where Michael lived. Thank you, Linda. Appreciate you, darling. Thank you so much, my love. Appreciate your support. I do think Stacy was scared of Sarah. He witnessed her pistol whip him before. Yeah, but I think Stacy did what he wanted as well. I do think he was a little bit scared, but still, he had ample opportunity to say something. No excuse. He lied even after he was out in jail on other charges. Yeah.
Whatever it is. But as somebody who was not.
This is the thing. This is the thing, and that's a good question, Frosty. There has been other people that they do believe may be involved, other than the 4 suspects that they have named. And I do believe there could be more than the 4.
And hasn't been a part of that particular situation. I don't know. Like I want to help you guys as much as I can, but I don't have anything else to work on. I just know that you guys told my mom, if he's willing to help, within the search or whatever. So I asked my mom, what are the parameters? And she goes, you're gonna have to talk to them. So I was like, okay. And that's why I called you guys, because it's like, I mean, even after this whole testing thing, like that I want to do with you guys, and if it comes back like I'm telling you the truth, and I haven't lied, then I still want to work a negotiation or something out with you for having to go through what I've had to go through in this longer process.
It's just amazing to me. He's there wanting to make a deal about his own self, right? What I've had to go through, what you've had to go through, you piece of garbage. You've had to go through.
It doesn't, and I talked to Sarah.
Not a second.
I don't know if she told you, but You know, I asked, you know, I told her, I said, why?
Yeah, I do believe, and I'll say it, I believe there was, I mean, I'll just say this, next door, there are RSOs.
You know,
literally next door.
Why is all this, what's all this stuff going on with, you know, God, you know, and this whole, you know, I mean, I was appalled when she was like, well, I literally, you're talking on the phone to you with fire hydrants, and I literally got it a couple days ago, and God put me back to be a prophet, prophesied something. But I literally tried for this. Sorry, it's whatever. By David Baldacci. But it's just like,
oh yeah.
You know, and then she goes, well, I'm not talking to the detectives about
Sarah's mom, boy, she's, you know, I have a lot of more respect for Stacy's mom. Sarah's mom.
She goes, I'm not turning on you like they're saying that they're going to. I don't believe her. I don't, you know, great if she isn't. She can turn on me all she wants. I have not there. She knows damn well I have nothing to do with anything. And so I can let her, you know, she's going to do what she's going to do. I don't know if she already gave her speaking through or not, but honestly, like, I don't really care. You know, I don't trust her as far as I can throw her. And that's never interesting. You know, after the shit that
That's right. I forgot about that, Lana. I forgot about that. Sarah's mom did hide evidence in another case. I forgot about that on the probable cause. Yeah.
I mean, not meaning, or mind you, you know, some of the stuff that I've done behind her back, you know, wasn't exactly faithful, but if you had to be in the predicament, some of the situations that I've been in with her, being held against, you know, being held at, you know,
I did. When was your birthday? Happy birthday.
Wouldn't exactly probably be the happiest, you know, your relationship. I mean, I can't speak for my mother, but, you know, it's hard to, I mean, to just wrap my mind around, you know, the fact that she knows something. And just mind-boggling. You know, I mean, I'm the type of person that if I knew something, even.
Okay. All right. So there we have that. Stacy failed to because Sarah moved Michael. Yeah. Yeah, they know where Michael is. Someone does. Someone knows where Michael is. That's for sure. And I do believe, in my opinion, it is Brandon Shirtliff, who is such a puss, won't talk. He's not a man at all. Let me pull up something right here real quick and show you something. Ooh, what's this? I have not seen these. Yeah, Law and Crime Trials. They're going to post the entire thing up of the trial.
Day 2 of Stacy Wondra's preliminary hearing here at the Payette County Courthouse. And it was a really heavy day, you guys. Brandy Vaughn and Tyler Vaughn.
Morgan is such a sweet soul.
I saw them crying, sitting in the front row of the courtroom at multiple points throughout evidence today. And at one point, they did have to leave the courtroom. One witness was called. It was a Fruitland police detective. And while she was on the stand, multiple videos, hours of video were played, body cameras, video of her interactions and her interviews with Stacy Wondra while he was in the Washington County Jail on unrelated charges. In those interviews, he had requested to speak with law enforcement because he wanted a deal and he wanted to give them information about Michael. Well, over the course of several hours, law enforcement was able to pull more information out of him, but his story...
Is it your birthday, baby kisses? Is it your birthday today? Is your birthday? Everyone give it up for baby kisses' birthday. Happy birthday, baby kisses. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, baby kisses. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Happy birthday, baby kisses. Love you.
Story did change multiple times, but throughout those interviews, we learned that according to Stacy Wondra, Michael Vaughn was abducted by Adrian Lucien and by Sarah Wondra, Stacy's ex-wife. They took him back to their home in Fruitland down the street from the Vaughn's house, duct taped him, and then they drove to Kuna to Brandon Shirtliff, their other roommate's mom's house. And at that point, Stacy says that he believes Michael was left there. The following day, he said that Sarah and another roommate went back to that house and Michael was dead. They then returned to his Fruitland home, and he said that Michael Vaughn was buried in his backyard. He said that Sarah accidentally killed Michael by suffocation, and that wasn't the intention. He says the intention was for Adrian and Sarah to sell little 5-year-old Michael Vaughn. We will continue to be here throughout the rest of the week.
That's such a hard thing to say, you know, like to sell. What the hell? How does one just say that? Just crazy to me. People are nuts. Okay, we're going to go to Missing P&W. Crimes Revisited. Mods, please drop Samantha's channel.
Investigation, and it remains the Fruitland Fire Department.
1 second, I want to play something here.
That's his wife, Sarah, another suspect in the case. Stacy says Adrian, a third suspect, was also there for the burial.
Out of 300 homes, police say canines tracked Michael's scent, the home where Stacy, his wife Sarah, and their 2 roommates Brandon Shirtliff and Adrian Lucien lived.
As Joe mentioned, a newly released probable cause affidavit filed in June lays out the interviews following Michael's disappearance. Again, during these initial searches, police say canines tracked Michael's scent to the fence line of the home where Stacy Wondra, his wife Sarah, and their 2 roommates, Brandon Shirtliff and Adrian Lucien, lived. All 4 of those individuals have been named people of interest in Michael's disappearance. One of Michael's neighbors told police they saw Michael riding a bike outside of the Wondra's home the day that he disappeared. Another neighbor said they saw that same tricycle at the Wondra's home during a garage sale months before Michael disappeared. The Wondras initially denied any involvement, but then in November of 2022, Stacy asked to meet with investigators. The PCA states Stacy claims he was home the night Michael was allegedly abducted and saw Sarah carrying Michael into the house. Stacy allegedly told police it was Adrian's idea to take a child to sell for money, and they would get a $10,000 cut. Stacy claims Sarah told everyone to, quote, follow
a $10,000 cut. Okay, that's
her lead. Stacy told investigators they took him to Brandon's mother's home in Kuna that night, where they left Michael overnight. Stacy claims the other 3 returned to Brandon's mom's house the next day and brought Michael back to the Wanderers' home in Fruitland. Stacy told police Michael was not alive, and Sarah and Adrian buried him in the Wanderers' backyard. 2 days after Stacy's interview with police, they executed a search warrant and excavated the Wanderers' backyard. The affidavit says cadaver dogs alerted to the same area where Stacy told detectives Michael's body was buried, but to this day, Michael has not.
5 certified cadaver dogs. 1 came from North Carolina, if I recall correctly.
Been found.
They all said Michael Vaughn's remains were in that yard. if this is. Let me see here. Okay. Let me see here. Little Brandy, bless her heart.
Sits in a jail cell. He is back in Idaho, accused of killing young Michael Vaughn.
You're pure evil. You have no heart. You have no soul.
Wondra is accused of murdering her then 5-year-old son in 2021. Would you think you'll ever get the answer as to why?
No, because there is no answer to why. Why would somebody hurt an innocent little boy? What answer could you give? What answer could you possibly give? How scared was he? Did he ask for me? Did he ask for Tyler?
And we know that now.
Brandy got some of those answers today.
Yeah. We now know that Michael did ask for his mommy.
And it was, I'm sorry, you guys. It was the most heartbreaking thing I've ever heard in my life. The most evil stuff I've ever heard in my life. Stacy Wondra talked about Michael. Trigger warning, everybody, please protect your mental health here. Stacy Wondra talked about how Sarah and Adrian went out, kidnapped Michael, brought him back to the house, how Sarah Wondra was holding him, squeezing him, trying to get him to calm down because, of course, Michael was not doing well. He's with strangers. He's been taken. He's confused. He doesn't know what's going on. Stacy Wondra says that he wanders off to the bedroom after he sees them put Michael down on the end of the couch. Michael's got his hands up close to his heart, kind of almost like cuddling with himself, terrified, screaming,
self-soothing,
crying, and screaming for his mom. Brandy and Tyler had to walk out of the courtroom. They did come back after lunch, but they had to walk out. I can't blame them.
Samantha was in that courtroom.
Stacy said that while Michael was screaming for his mom and crying, that they started yelling at Michael to shut up.
I swear to God, I pray to the good, oh God.
Tyler listened as he clutched Michael's Spider-Man in his hand, with his head in his hands.
You're the evilest.
And Brandy and Tyler were squeezing each other's hands. I'm crying. My daughter's crying. They're crying. Tyler's sister and her husband are crying. Bob was there. Papa's not a good day in court. Stacy talked about how he was in the bedroom, if he was in the bedroom, because he's not claiming any damn responsibility for a damn thing. What, he stood around and just watched?
Exactly.
He just stood there while everybody was doing all of this. And when asked, why didn't you call 911? Well, I was scared of Sarah, and I was scared to death of Adrian.
Makes sense, Lana. Makes perfect sense.
He said while he was in the bedroom, he heard a sound. You know the sound of duct tape that comes from the roll of tape, a long one.
Michael Vaughn unicorn.
As they were duct taping his feet, using a hand motion like the tape was going around and around at the bottom of his feet and his feet, his hands, his face, laying on the floor on his back before putting him into a duffel bag. Something Stacy said today was that when they got to Cuna, he could still see Michael moving in the duffel bag as Brandon was carrying it into the house in Cuna. Juanita asked if Brandon checked on him, and he said no, and then continues to say that they left Michael there overnight. I don't know what truth is in that, but did they really leave Michael Vaughn alive in a duffel bag in a room all night long? Because we've heard in the probable cause affidavit that he was deceased.
Yeah.
That Michael had already passed before getting to the house in Cuna.
I hope
He
wasn't
changes
left
his
alone.
story multiple times. He has to be asked questions quite a few times. He was not bullied. He was not coerced into saying anything. He was a coward. And little bit by little bit, Chris Madonna and Juanita and Scott Kremen were able to get him to open up more and more and more. And again, I'm just going to reiterate how much was it true, because he's a liar. We know this. I couldn't not go live. I am so pissed off. I hate them.
I do too.
I hate them with every ounce inside of me. Like I
You're an
can't.
evil mother, or if you do something like
That was all of court today. From 9 till after 6 o'clock. It didn't go to 5. It went till after 6. All we listened to was this particular confession footage, which ended up being from November 11th, early in the morning. I believe it was like in the AM. And then they came back again on the 11th later that day. He was read his rights.
I've already told you it,
he was spoken
unicorn.
to
Michael
before
Vaughn.
each
Look at
one of those interviews.
Look at it up
He
there. Right up
signed
there on the name as
a
well.
document that he understood his rights. When Brandy and Tyler walked out of the courtroom, I almost got up. I almost followed. I didn't. I stayed in the courtroom to keep taking notes, to still sit there with the rest of the family, knowing that Tyler and Brandy needed their space. They made it back. Brandy is stronger than ever, also while being broken, because she's taken all of this pain now. And now after watching Stacy again.
Lana, they gave Michael chewing tobacco? They gave Michael chewing tobacco?
And during a confession footage, she's pissed off. She's friggin' pissed. And Tyler?
Oh, Stacy on the stand. I wouldn't give that motherfucker nothing.
Tyler's quiet.
I wouldn't give that motherfucker nothing. No enjoyment, nothing of anything. Piece of shit.
Tyler's in his head. Tyler's thinking. You can just see it. You see his reels working a little bit. This entire family was broken today. More.
They probably wanted to pacify the son of a bitch so he would just talk.
Broken. And there's so much more to still go.
Oh, during the confession. Okay. I understand during the confession. You want to make them as comfortable as possible. I get it during the confession. I get it. You want them to be as comfortable as possible, relaxed, so they'll yap their fucking mouth.
I'm pissed today. I can't even begin to imagine how hurt and sad and devastated and pissed the frig off that they are. Hearing him change his story multiple times over and over and over and over again. It was like watching the YouTube shit show all over again.
Yeah. And there's people that actually take up for this scum of the earth. There's people that actually take up for that piece of swine shit. There is. It's absolutely disgusting to me. Beyond anything that I've ever seen. Just shows you. Guys, I've been here 2 hours. I've got yeah, Frosty. Disgusting. Really? No, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Interesting page. We have another live scheduled in 30 minutes from now, guys. So we're going to continue to obviously follow Michael's case all the way through. When it goes to trial, whenever there's a trial date, I'll be out in Idaho. Don't know when trial is. He has to confess or plea still, whether it's innocent, guilty, or takes a deal. Thanks, Samantha, so much. I love that woman. Make sure you sub up to P&W Missing. Missing P&W Crimes Revisited. Mods, if you don't mind putting that link in chat again, I'd appreciate it. Hold on 1 second. This person's annoying the shit out of me. I've told him 3 times. Are they asking again? Okay, I don't guess. So I may be behind. They're all guilty from the time they took him until now. Absolutely. Your comments aren't getting deleted, honey. It's not. It's probably something with YouTube. It's acting weird. My camera's freezing on this one. So. Oh yeah, Sasha. Yeah. I believe now Brandon is the only one who knows where Michael is. Yeah, I think Brandon. I think Sarah may know, but Brandon certainly knows. And he knows TikTok, Brandon, because I know you're watching, you piece of garbage. You coward piece of garbage. I know you're watching. You watch every single live. Me, Samantha, any of us do. All of us. It's coming. Oh, yeah. Let me play that. Hold on. I think Brandy talked about it, didn't she? Hold on. Brandy gave a message out.
Good afternoon. My name is Brandy Christine Vaughn. I am Michael Joseph Vaughn's mama. Michael was abducted July 27th, 2021. There are 4 named suspects in his abduction and murder. Stacy Wondra, Sarah Wondra, Adrian Lucian, and Brandon Shirtliff. Currently, Stacy Wondra will have his preliminary hearing starting March 3rd through the 6th of 2026.
You'll want to hear it. You'll want to hear this.
This message is to True Crime with Eve the Eve effect. I won't say the other one. I, Brandy Vaughn, am asking you to remove all 233 videos of Michael Joseph Vaughn. I believe that your advocacy for Michael has turned into something not helpful, not healthy, and not right. You have compromised your integrity. You are, how do I put this? Coercing with 3 suspects in Michael's abduction and murder. You speak to the alleged murderer every day. I am asking you to remove all of those videos of Michael because you do not have Michael in your best interest, in his best interest. You're wrong. And justice and the truth will be heard. So, remove all your videos of Michael Joseph Vaughn and do not speak on him or this case any further. Thank you for your time. Have a great day, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Brandy Christine Vaughn.
Here's that video. She writes a lot down below if you want to look at that. All right, guys, I'll be back here shortly in a few minutes. We will be talking about the Nancy Guthrie case. Hang tight. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Justice for Michael Joseph Vaughn, affectionately known to his loved ones as Monkey Vaughn. Good night. God bless.